Great. So today we are talking about film studies at Laurier, bachelor degree and diploma. Let me quickly share my screen as well. And just give me a couple of seconds. Sorry about that. So just as always, thank you for those who joined, and the recording will be provided to those who is late or maybe is not able to join us. So just another note. So my name is Daria, the marketing manager for WLIC. Michelle, my dear colleague, is here in the call as well. And we're glad to have Ranisa, the current student of film studies bachelor degree at Laurier. So we are talking today about how to earn a bachelor degree and diploma in film studies and production in just 4 years. So basically how you can do the two programs together in a short time to fast track your degree. So just to remind you about WLIC and Laurier, we're located in heart of the southern Ontario, which is Brantford, the city with a great infrastructure and wonderful nature, with a still close proximity to Toronto downtown. It takes about 50 minutes to get to Toronto, and there are multiple buses and trains to get there, and the tickets start from as low as $10. So it's always easy for the students to travel to Toronto if needed. And just another great thing about the location, that it is so-called Silicon Valley of Canada. So there are so many offices and businesses in Ontario. So our students can benefit from co-op options, not only in Brantford, but also in Waterloo, Hamilton, Mississauga, Toronto, Niagara Falls, and so on. So let me just check if I'm sharing the sound and show you a quick video about Brantford to give you a quick sense of what the city looks like.
Start your journey with Wilfrid Laurier International College and find your future at Laurier, where we inspire tomorrow's leaders to learn and build community in Brantford, Ontario. Laurier constantly ranks among Canada's top universities in student satisfaction, extracurricular activities, and course instructors. Take advantage of our 240-plus local partnerships to find co-op jobs, community service learning placements, and experiential learning opportunities, all while earning your Laurier degree. Laurier's Brantford campus sits in a small town with big city advantages. University buildings are integrated throughout the downtown business core, and it takes just 7 minutes to walk across campus. With quick access to plenty of restaurants, trails for walking and biking the historic Grand River, and a vibrant arts and culture scene. Brantford also has a thriving business community, is home to many global business operations, and is only 1 hour from Toronto. Its easy access to other cities in southern Ontario, along with a friendly and welcoming community, make Laurier and Brantford the ideal location to study. Begin your studies with Wilfrid Laurier International College, located on Laurier's Brantford campus, where you will have access to the personal and academic support you need, and where small class sizes let you really get to know your peers and professors. It's a true community working together to learn, lead, and build lifelong connections. No matter how you choose to live your Laurier experience, you'll feel inspired to aim high and work hard. You'll belong to a community that's ready to take charge in a changing world. Begin your journey at Wilfrid Laurier International College and be inspired together.
Wonderful. So as you can see, the city is lovely and has the development infrastructure and still close to Toronto. And I think that the community feel can be underestimated sometimes, but actually in Brantford, everybody says hi. And the good thing is that alumni and the four-year students do help to newcomer students of first and second years. So this actually decreases the anxiety and helps students make it through and actually bring more energy to their project and be sure that they will succeed in their career and their studies as well. So just to remind you that Laurier is #1 in Canada for the quality of student instructors. So your students will be basically learning with the best professors, and they're from Laurier. And we're also top 5 for student satisfaction and extracurricular activities, offering more than 250 clubs of different interests. And we're also proud that all our programs are career oriented. So we have almost 95% employment rate for international students and almost 97% for the local students. So how we can reach the highest score of the employment rate by leading actually two fairs biannually that are the largest ones in Canada, and actually almost half of the employers prefer to sign the contract for co-op right on site, so the students will have a great opportunity to secure their job already during the fair. Or we also have the co-op department, which actually helps students to succeed in their interview in co-op. So we do pay attention to this career focus. And just to remind you that we're offering two types of programs, UTP Stage 1 and Stage 2, which are basically the fast track foundation and the first year of bachelor degree accordingly. So if the student starts from the foundation, they will proceed to the first year of bachelor's. And if they start from the first year, they will continue to the second year of their degree at Laurier. The admission background actually will define whether the student can be accepted to foundation or to the first year program. So like I said, we had so many career oriented programs, but obviously today we're talking about film studies in particular. If you are interested in any other programs, we're happy to provide the personal consultation as well. And I think many of you know that we have had the series of the career focused webinars, and we're definitely considering to repeat them, and we do provide the recordings if you or your students requires. So today let's talk about film studies and how we can actually combine the diploma and bachelor and still fast track your education in just 4 years. So for the Film Studies Bachelor at Laurier, you will focus on the theoretical knowledge, and you will understand the history of film, how the film is created, the national cinemas, and the maybe differences and some features of the visual media, of the role of films in the in how we perceive the world, and the perception of people through the visual media, and you will be able to focus on film theory and film production and complete the diploma in Vancouver at Vancouver Film School. So just to clarify how this works, so you will get the Bachelor in Film Studies at Laurier, plus you can get diploma focused in film production or acting for film or writing for film at Vancouver Film School. So you can actually fast track your education and get to programs in 4 years. We also have the partnership with Grand River Film Festival and the Laurier Film Society, which offers the wide network for students to look for their co-op and for their future jobs, which is really important in such an industry. And of course, so for this program, for this combined degree, the students will study year 1 and year 2 in Brantford and Laurier, and then proceed to Vancouver Film School for the year 3, and then get back to WLIC for the year 4. So this way they will get both degrees in just 4 years. And like I said, they can choose either film production or writing for film and TV, or acting for film and TV at the VFS school. So let me, I think Renisa will be able to talk more about about her experience, about her bachelor degree, and she's actually the one that is opting for the so-called VFS pathway, so to combine her degree with Vancouver Film School diploma. So Renisa, over to you.
Yeah, hi everyone, good morning. It's 10 a.m. over here, so hope everyone's having a great day. But yeah, so I took the film studies program with the pathway fit VFS. And essentially, I'm an international student as well. So this was one of my main reasons to come over here to Laurier. Was the program of choice. So like mentioned earlier, your first 2 years are definitely going to be theory-based. Something amazing.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Did you hear me?
No, that was just a quick second. Sorry.
Oh, okay, perfect. But yeah, I wanted to say something amazing Laurier does is for all arts degree students, that includes film studies, is that in your first year, it's a highly flexible first year. So you come in with 2 mandatory courses, electives, and then the rest all are electives. And electives are basically courses that you can take that are outside of your degree. And I would highly encourage a lot of students to do this, because even with film, especially with film, because there are a lot of courses that you can just interlink back into your degree. So I would say go for your first year, see which ones work out. I took a lot of English courses, and I was working up to take an English minor. However, I didn't think that was fit for me. But a lot of my friends and my peers within my degree have taken medievals minor, a English minor. Some have even gone into business. So there's a lot of ways that you can really design your degree. And at Laurier, that is very possible. Definitely encourage students to go talk to their program advisors and see, what options they can explore. Coming to your second year, you get more concentrated into the degree, so you have more film specified courses. So some of them were like film and audiences, film musical. Those were just a few of the courses I've taken. And again, you're learning more of the genre and film jargons, technicality. It is very research paper based. So a lot of your courses are going to ask you to write research papers, put forward a thesis. The only time you get to do a production side of things would be in your third year. So Laurier does offer a film production option, which is also available to non-degree students. However, your other alternative is going to Vancouver Film School, which is what I did. And I ended up doing that in my third year. And Vancouver Film School, very fast-paced. It's a 1-year pathway program that, you have 6 terms and you do that all in 1 year. And right from the get-go, you're, processing through that. And at the end of the time at Vancouver Film School, you have a produced film that you can send for film festivals. So I had a produced film, which was called Sarah's Song, and we had a premiere at the Whistler Film Festival, and we're still submitting it to festivals right now. So a lot of opportunities for students to really grow and connect through Vancouver Film School. Again, like all the teachers and professors there are industry professionals. I've learned so much from them. Because of the whole COVID situation and things being online, I ended up taking my fall semester online this year and stayed in Vancouver. Probably the best decision I made, because right out of Vancouver Film School, I was getting employment offers to go on set and, work as a PA. So I genuinely thank Vancouver Film School for giving me those opportunities, especially as an international student, because it's quite hard, but that was Vancouver Film School. And now I'm back here I just finished one of my last semesters for my 4th year. And again, your 4th year is very concentrated. We have seminars that you have to attend. Those are mandatory. We have a theory heavy course, again, going back to the roots of research papers and really knowing film as film instead of the production side. But yeah, you can, even with your degree as film studies student, you can apply for co-op. So as a film studies student, you can apply for co-op at the end of your first year. However, I do want to mention is if you are taking Vancouver Film School in your 3rd year, you won't be able to satisfy all the co-op requirements, as co-op generally happens in your 2nd and 3rd year summer. And again, Vancouver Film School is entirely your 3rd year for a year. You're going to be missing out on summer. So I took the opportunity to apply for co-op because I thought as an international student, that would help me. And it did. So I did my first term of co-op, got the Canadian work experience, which a lot of times I would really encourage international students to have, because it really pushes you further, especially in terms of job search postgraduate. So I did 1 term of co-op, and then I dropped out of the program to continue with Vancouver Film School. So that you can do that, but the only thing is you're not going to get a co-op certificate from the university saying you did the co-op program. That's just a choice you have to make. You can either stay with co-op and get the certificate, or drop out from co-op and choose to go to Vancouver Film School. Again, you have your program advisor at the end of the day to really help you make that decision. Mine was Vancouver Film School was my priority, so I took that. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm missing anything. I will send it out to Daria.
Thank you so much. I mean, I appreciate your feedback. That's actually the one which I probably couldn't give. So that's wonderful to that you shared your insights. So you covered a lot. Thank you so much for that. I think I just wanted to ask you. I did mention that Laurier has really great community and the network of the students to search for co-op and just to get those business connections and to use them for the future career. So do you think you could elaborate about the actual social life, the student life outside of the classroom at Laurier, and how maybe your connections and friends helped you to succeed?
For sure. So for me, in terms of getting into the environment at Laurier, I applied to be part of the film and media residence learning community. So I got my start there. And on my floor, you don't have to be from the degree of film to be on part of the residence learning community. So on my floor, I had students from computer science, from music, but generally majority of them were from film studies. So I always had someone to go to class with, to go get dinner with, lunch with, because we had the same schedule. But that was my first introduction into the campus life, into the film studies life. But even so, without that, I noticed like in a lot of my classes, my professors were super approachable. I'm currently on a first name basis with a lot of my professors. I think that's really amazing. But even in my first year, I remember our professors telling us about clubs to join as film studies student, or even just generally what things were around campus. We have this thing with our film studies professors where we host Oscar nights. So we have it at an on-campus restaurant, and we just go at the back and like watch the Oscars together with the professors. And I think that's really cool because you get to like talk about films. We also have a film studies club, which is called Kino Hearts, where they have a movie per week, and you come per week to just talk about the film and just see like what other people think of it, so there's always a heated debate that goes on. We used to have a film production club. I believe it's not been in use because of COVID, but I think students are going to revive it up. But yeah, highly recommend the film and media residence learning community, just a way to like break the ice. It helped me as a shy person. But yeah, I also was on Radio Laurier, I see over here. So Radio Laurier is also a really great place to like, if they have a segment now that they're coming up with where they want to like have film reviews, where you just have a short segment and being like, this is a film of the week, go watch it. Why? And I work as like the music director. So I would always like take music from films, or I would just be like, okay, you know what, this seems to be a great segment. But there are multiple positions you can take at Radio Laurier. Great club, 100%.
Wonderful, and thank you for sharing. Actually, that made me want to join the residence learning community myself. It's wonderful, serious, and I love that the professors actually provide this community feel, and on top of their sharing their experience, they're just making friends with the students, and we're really great, friendly atmosphere, and we are proud of this at Laurier. And it just maybe another question I could think of is, do you think you could just share about it? You said that you had to write the research papers for your assignments at Laurier. What was the one maybe most outstanding, or the one you enjoyed the most? Can you just share a couple of examples of the research papers you had to write?
Yeah, so I recently, just this year, I wrote a paper on extreme Asian cinema. And something Laurier's professors have done, at least I've noticed in this year, is they've given an option to do a traditional research paper or a creative research paper. So a creative research paper is basically any creative means that you can find, whether that's a video, presentation, anything. You can do that. All it has to do is like take a form of a research. So it has to match up. Say if the traditional research paper is 2,000 words, your presentation or your creative research paper has to match that 2,000 words in some form or the other. So I chose the creative research paper, and I did it on extreme Asian cinema. So it was basically about all the extreme things that you see in Asian cinema, all the things that, what is acceptable in the East is not acceptable in the West, or seen vice versa. It's like compare and contrast, and really like puts into perspective how not only cultures define film, but also like how society and like how films influence society's ideas based on that. Because if you watch both the like an Eastern film and a Western film, you will see the ideas presented in each film are way different. And some would say, oh, Western films are more accepting about certain topics and Eastern films aren't. In my thesis paper, I said Eastern films are more accepting about a lot of taboo topics, but in a very subtle way and hidden behind closed doors than Western media would. So those are just a few of like topics that you can go forward. And something I've realized in film studies is no topic is off limits. Like you can dive and debate and talk to your professors and be like, question, traditional norms, and your professors would love that. A lot of our professors encourage us to like question, okay, why is this like this? Like why do you think we have to follow this? And I think that's personally a great part of this degree. Yeah,
it's wonderful. Yeah, it's just like not being on top of the students, it's just being friends with the students and sharing the feedback and learning from each other. That's wonderful. And the actual research work, the research papers can be long and demanding, but this sounds actually like more like fun as well.
Yeah, I would say it's fun. And also something like ours, like Laurier does, is we have a library, and each department, so film studies department has a librarian, and I always tell students to like go talk to a librarian, because sometimes I've literally gone with my thesis and I'm like, I don't have the resources for this. And for one of my courses, I got a 3-page document with 120 resources being like, here's a summary of each of them, just choose which one you want. Wow. That just made my life a lot easier. I was like, okay, done. I have my resources now.
That's impressive. Wonderful. And I think I just wanted to, I think you really sound excited, and we're happy about it. Do you think you could highlight the best feature about Laurier, the best thing you liked and enjoyed?
Yeah.
Or maybe that contributed to your career or your developing your degree?
I honestly think it's the close-knit community. And I'm not saying this, like we do market that, but genuinely, like coming to the campus as an international student, it was easier for me to navigate around, and people seemed more approachable. I joined the ambassadors team, just learning about different programs, even talking to other people. I used to be scared, like I still like get scared to talk to people. People would approach me, and something at Laurier is like, it's so student run, where I would also go for a cup of coffee and it would probably be my friend at the cashier. So close-knit community is just like, everyone, and that kind of gives you like a sense of like belonging. You don't feel like you're just like one person in like the campus. You kind of made to feel special. At least that's what I felt here at Laurier, and I continue to feel like that.
That's wonderful, Sarah. And I think that kind of eases the job, because studying in Canada is not easy. Definitely, it is demanding, and it requires a lot of effort and time. So having someone to support you and to actually show you that you can make it, and not only show you that you can make it, it just just kind of motivates you, right?
Yeah.
So not just study, but just want to study, right?
Definitely. And during my time, I believe now she's on a sabbatical, but I had Dr. Spring as my advisor, and she was probably my biggest fan. Like if there was anything I would do, she would just be, yes, I love it. She's like, go for it. She's like, can I help you? And you don't find teachers like that very often, so like to have a professor that I met at my undergraduate career, like Dr. Spring, was amazing, because now I have the confidence being like, okay, you know what, I can do this. And again, Vancouver Film School has Vancouver Film School, all the professors are highly motivating. I've not had a professor tell me that, oh, you can't do this. They've always been like, go for it, try it out, fail and see where you land. But yeah,
especially in the creative career, I think that's really important. And congratulations on the film. That's wonderful, great news. And you actually produce the film during your studies. That's wonderful. It's a great start of your future career. That's great, and thank you for sharing, Renisa. I really appreciate it. If any of the attendants have any questions to Renisa after the presentation, feel free to either type in the chat or just mute yourself after the presentation and ask the questions. And right now we're going to proceed to the admission requirements. So let me just share that the admission requirements are really doable, and highlight that no portfolio is required. So the student build portfolio and their professional materials during their studies. So the initial one is not required, and the English requirements and academic requirements are also quite doable. Just for Canadian curriculum, it's grade 12 with 65% average on in 4 academic subjects. And if you need the requirements for any specific country, there is a link in the presentation, and you can also check this after the presentation is finished, or please feel free to email us or to WhatsApp us to check the requirements for your specific student or the region. For the English, just to remind you that we're accepting Duolingo for September intake as well. And we also have our PVT test, which is internal English test. It is free of charge and 1 hour long online test. So if your student prefer to take this test, it's also available. Let us know and we can definitely book it for your students. Or if the student would like to do IELTS, it's either 5.0 or 5.5 score required. So the admission requirements and English level will define either student will be accepted to foundation or to first year of the bachelor degree. So just a little bit about the tuition. So the foundation program will cost a little bit less than 23,000, and for the first year tuition, it's a little bit over 29,000, with also the study materials and the insurance. We are looking at about 23 or 31,000 altogether. According to the accommodation, we do provide and we do guarantee the accommodation on campus at the residence for the first year for our students. So if the student apply before June 30th and accept their offer, we can definitely guarantee it. We're also available to guarantee it even further, but we just recommend to apply earlier to secure the space at the residence, and obviously to be in time for with the visa application for September intake. So this is just a sample of the apartment style residence we provide for the students, which is spacious and really comfortable. And we are happy to confirm that we do offer scholarships. The minimum one is $2,000 and the interview will be required. So is the early adopter scholarship, and the ambassador scholarship of $5,000 is available. So maybe like Renisa did, the student would want to jump in more and immerse in the student environment and apply for ambassador scholarship and help students and the university to improve and to make the community even closer. So that's a great opportunity for the student to apply. And I'm also glad to announce that we will be confirming the special scholarships of for $4,500 for September intake students especially. So we will provide more details on that, I think by the end of the week. So it will be the regional market-specific scholarship, and we will definitely email and WhatsApp students and agents about a little bit more details. So thank you so much for joining yet again. This is last but not least webinar of our career focus webinar series in April and May. So we are really grateful for those who joined or watched the recording. It's really great. Thank you for being active listeners and asking questions and being interested. That's wonderful. It's really supportive. So we're definitely can always provide the private consultation for your students if you're interested in any particular program, not only those who were that were announced during webinars, but also one of our 60 programs at Laurier. So definitely feel free to email us or WhatsApp us, and we can provide the recording or the private consultation for the student. And we're also definitely considering to repeat the webinar series, and let us know which programs you could be interested in the most. And do follow us on the social media to stay updated on our news and up-to-date events. So let me just stop sharing my screen and take any questions or comments. Feel free to either unmute yourself or to type in the chat, whatever you prefer. Let us know if you have any questions to me or Anissa.
Hello.
Hi, Carmen.
I wanted to know if students can apply for jobs in this industry during their studies.
Yeah, definitely. I think Renisa mentioned that she could actually do her work practice. Renisa, do you want to tell a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so you can definitely apply for work during the time of your study. With your study permit, you get around like 40 hours per week. I'm not sure that would be, but it's only part-time hours. Because I joined the co-op program, I got a full work permit, which allowed me to work a normal hour shift, so like 8 hours. That's generally not given to international students unless they're part of the co-op program or apply for a work permit. But otherwise, you can still work part-time as an international student.
So yeah, during the studies, the work permit allows to work up to 20 hours per week. And during the co-op, the students are allowed to work for 40 hours per week as a full-time job. So that's definitely, all our programs are career-oriented. So every program at Laurier actually includes co-op. Usually they're available during the second year, and the students may apply for them at the end of year one. So including film studies, the co-ops are always also available. And I think they actually benefited to the students' degree and to students for their career, like the one for Anissa. Look at her, she actually got work during the studies, and she already produced her film, and she, and she's just about to graduate. That's wonderful, I think.
Yeah, she has been very lucky. Not everybody can do those things, but
yeah. And I'm sure she worked hard, like all our students, but she also felt inspired by and motivated and helped by the students. So that's kind of like combination.
Thank you.
We also have another question. As an international student, do I only need to reach academic and English requirement? Do we need to send a portfolio? That's the beauty of Laurier, actually, and thanks, that's a great question. So for applying through the Wilfrid Laurier International College, you do not need portfolio. You will build it during your studies, but to apply for this program, you only need the English requirement and academic requirement. No portfolio needed. So that's the great part and the easy part about the Laurier International College. Those are great questions. Keep them coming. There are no questions. I'm actually happy all the time because I think we were so clear and so into detail that it's informative enough. Wonderful. So yet again, if questions may come up after the webinar, that's normal. So feel free to either WhatsApp us or email at info.laurieric.ca, and we can definitely help answering those. And if you're students or if you would like to have the more details or have another private consultation, we're more than happy to provide that. And for today, I think if we're out of questions, just once again, thank you for those who joined, appreciate it. Do feel free to contact us after, and thank you, Renisa and Michelle, for joining the session. It was really beneficial, and thank you so much. we're glad that you enjoyed Laurier experience and grateful that you joined this session to share your insight. That's wonderful. So yeah, have a great day or evening, depending on your location. And thank you for joining, and look forward to having you at the next webinar series at Wilfrid Laurier International College. See ya.
Thank you.